Pets have been known to provide companionship, protection, love, and loyalty to humans since the beginning of time. Normally, when someone mentions they have a pet, people's immediate reactions are, oh, you have a dog or a cat? But how odd would it be if you asked an individual if they had a pet and they replied, yes, I have a monkey, or a lion, what about a sloth, or even a hedgehog? Surprisingly enough, there are people that own these animals and see them as domesticated pets, like we see dogs and cats. But does this make it right? Should animals that are not programmed to be domesticated be forced to? My answer is no, and here's why. Non-domesticated exotic animals shouldn't be kept as pets. Many have specific nutritional, environmental, and behavioral needs that are difficult to duplicate in a captive environment, said by Dr. Rivera, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine Program. Captivity limits their natural behavior and places both their mental and physical health at risk. Inadequate captive environments can result in chronic stress and poor physical health. The stress of living in captivity without any control over their environment may cause learned helplessness, which is a coping mechanism that can affect the animal's memory and how they process emotions. There are a plethora of stories that show the dangers of exotic pets because they turned on their owners, causing either serious injury or even death. One story I would like to share is about the infamous Travis the chimp. He was raised from a baby with his owners, the Heralds, who treated him basically like a child in their family. They took him everywhere, and he became somewhat of a local celebrity. Travis acted exactly like a human. He knew how to dress himself, do chores around the house, and he even knew how to use a computer. During 2003, after quite a bit of death in the family, Travis started acting erratic and somewhat dangerous. On February 19, 2009, Travis attacked one of the Herald's family friends, Charla Nash. Charla didn't die, but will suffer the rest of her life from her injuries. She almost lost her entire face and required extensive surgery following the attack. All of the bones in her face were broken. Her eyelids, nose, jaw, lips, and most of her scalp were torn from her body. She is now blind in both eyes and lost one hand and part of the other. This is a prime example that just because you domesticate an animal, they can always go back to their natural instincts and become extremely dangerous. Another danger that comes along with exotic pets is zoonotic diseases. This too has happened to owners of exotic pets, leading to their death and serious illness. One story in particular is the story of Joe Garza and his daughter. They purchased a diseased cockatiel parrot from PetSmart unknowingly. Joe contracted cytosis, also known as parrot's disease or parrot fever, and died at 63. His daughter also contracted the disease and went into a coma, but has since recovered. These diseases are classified as zoonoses, a disease which can be transmitted from animals to humans. Many of these zoonoses are carried by exotic pets or wildlife species. Some of these diseases are SARS, monkeypox, Ebola, and salmonellosis. The exotic pet trade affects extinction in multiple ways. The exotic pet trade is a multi-billion-dollar business. These animals can come from a multitude of ways. Either one, they are stolen from their habitat by poachers, they are brought from zoos, or they are sold at auctions or in pet shops. The reason this business causes extinction is simple: supply and demand. The way most of these animals make it into our home is by illegal trade and wildlife trafficking. Poachers capture so many of these animals at a time and in such large numbers that some species are unable to keep reproducing and subsequently may become extinct. The animals also endure harsh circumstances while being transported, and many die in transit. They get stuffed in boxes, they aren't fed properly, and they're poorly mishandled. Animals that are transported from different countries and brought into places like the U.S. where they are not from can get loose and start reproducing quickly, causing issues with the environment we live in and preying on the native animals that live here. Exotic animals are mysterious, and for me, a joy to look at and to learn about. I look at taking an exotic animal across the world to place in a cage in your backyard or an enclosed tank in your bedroom for decoration as simply wrong. Just as us humans are free, these animals should be as well. I see it as unjust to treat a tiger, sloth, monkey, bear, or even a Komodo dragon as a family member or a pet. They are not designed to live the way we do, and when their natural instincts kick in and they attack and or kill us, or even spread deadly diseases, we feel like it's the animal's fault, when in reality, it's just what they come along with, their survival instincts, and the way they are programmed. Exotic animals should be left in their natural habitat to keep both us and themselves safe.